Hey yo, this is Joe from Bad News Racing, and today we will be showing you how to do a transmission flush on an LT manual Chevy Sonic. And we will also be showing you how to remove your old piece of trash lower transmission mount and the steps on how to install this beautiful over-the-top performance rear transmission mount. Now let's go ahead and kick it on over to Brandon. He's gonna show you what to do.
How we doing, guys? This is Brandon at BNR again. We're gonna get right into the black Sonic here, doing a transmission flush on it today, and we're gonna hop right into this. So here, I'm gonna take a couple of extensions because it is pretty far down in the engine bay, and this is gonna be an 8mm Allen socket. And we're going to take the fill plug off first, and then we will go ahead and get the car up to get the drain plug. All right, guys, so the reason I went ahead and took the fill plug out first is just in case that fill plug is seized for whatever reason, you want to make sure that you're able to get fluid back in your transmission. Also, it will make draining the fluid better. Just like a traditional oil change, you want to take your filler cap off first and let the fluids drain out easier. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the drain plug here. I have a 10mm Allen key. You'll see the drain plug located on the back of the transmission here. And we're just going to go ahead and try and get this broken loose. We'll go ahead and give this fluid a few minutes to fully drain out and get our new fluid ready to go in as well. All right, so we went ahead and let all the fluid drain out. We're gonna go ahead and put our drain plug back in and get that tightened up. Just gonna give the area a good wipe down here while we're here. You do not need to put a lot of force onto this. I'm just snugging it down. And then once it starts to feel pretty tight, you can go ahead and stop there. Now that we've got the drain plug back in, I'll go ahead and lower the car and we'll work on putting our new fluid in here. We're going to be using 75W90 as the main base here. We're going to use 1.5 quarts of this. Then we're also going to put in some synchro mesh as well. We'll be putting in the full quart of this. We've got a nice long funnel here that we're going to use. Again, since that bolt hole was pretty deep there, I'll go ahead and get this placed in, and then we'll start to get our fluid in. Just go ahead and take your time with this. The transmission fluid's generally pretty thick. You just want to make sure you're not spilling any out of that fill hole and that it's all going into the case. Again, just a reminder, we are doing 1.5 quarts of the transmission fluid. So I'll go ahead and take my time with this, make sure we're getting the proper amount in. Right about halfway there. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our synchro mesh here. This is just to add an extra layer of protection for all of the components inside of the transmission. I'm gonna go ahead and give the funnel a minute or two and just make sure we get all the fluid in there. Then we'll go ahead and get our fill plug back in and tightened up. I'm putting the drain plug in by hand first. I'm just spinning it down as much as it'll go by my hand. All right, that is all the way down. Go ahead and take my socket here. And again, we're just snugging this up. You really do not want to go tight at all on this. You can see I've got some pretty good resistance on the ratchet here. And that's it. That's how you do a transmission flush on the Gen 1 Sonics. We're going to go ahead and replace the rear transmission mount here on the Sonic. We just got done doing the transmission flush, and we're going to go ahead and put in this billet rear motor mount from Over the Top Performance. We do carry their products on our page if you're interested in going this route with yours. So to jump in, get started on this, you're going to need a 18 millimeter to loosen up the bolts here. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the through bolt here first, just a little bit. You saw the little bit of play that gave. I'm going to leave this here, and then I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the 3 for the actual bracket itself. So you can see now that our bracket's fully loose, I can go ahead and take out our through bolt. And the mount bracket comes right out. This is going to be another 18 millimeter. Just like that. As you guys can see here, we definitely have some deformities going on in our bushing there. And we will go ahead and get this billet mount in after we clean up some of our hardware and our bracket here. All right, now that we went ahead and got our bracket cleaned up here and some of our hardware cleaned up, we'll go ahead and get right into putting the billet mount in. It does come with a spacer here that will be needed for the install. This is going to go on the top of the mount when you slide it into the slot there. So we're just gonna put things in reverse order here. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in, get this lined up. And we just want to get that finger tight in there for now. That way we can get the transmission mount in. All right, so we got all three of our transmission bracket bolts snugged up for now. I'm going to go ahead and get this through bolt in. You might need a little bit of help, maybe with a pry bar or with a friend, just to be able to pull the motor back and get that bolt in place. We were able to get ours in right there. Go ahead and snug that up. And now I'm going to torque everything down. The three transmission bracket bolts are going to be 75 foot-pounds. I already have our torque wrench here set. All right, now that those three are torqued to 75 foot-pounds, I'll go ahead and move on to the through bolt, which is 60 foot-pounds. Now that we have the through bolt torqued to 60 foot-pounds, I will go ahead and move on to our last and final subframe bolt here, and that will be set at 45 foot-pounds. All right, now that we've got our last bolt torqued to 45 foot-pounds, that completes the installation and and we will see you guys in the next one.